Little children, keep yourselves from idols. It's 1 John 5:21. I bring that up kind of just to vent today. I still enjoy watching football after church, and I see that my team lost a tough game, a game they really should have won, had chances to win, but didn't. But it's like, you know what? It's fun when they win, sucks when they lose, but you move on, you go into fellowship. But it's like when you have friends and then you see people posting stuff on social media that are so angry. I literally saw a tweet, thanks to my friend sending it to me, to which I told him I don't need to see those tweets. It's like, who puts this energy out there? But somebody quoted our coach who just said, tough loss, can't win them all. Just giving coach speak. And this guy was like, I bleep, 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 hate this bleep, bleep, loser, blah, blah, blah. And when we're coming off of 5 straight big wins, it's fun when you win, it sucks when you lose. We know that as a sports fan, but you don't make it an idol. You don't make it the end all be all source of your happiness or joy to the point where you were literally projecting hate into the world to somebody you don't even know for things that you have no idea what go into. But when you clearly had chances to win a game, but it's just a game, and it becomes an idol for so many people. And there's still a little bit of frustration, but at the end of the day, I know it means nothing. Obviously you like to banter with people about your teams, but it should never get you to a point where you are putting things into the world that are hateful. The number one commandment of Jesus is to love one another as I have loved you. It's not love one another when they make you feel good or when you feel good about this or that. It's to love one another. It's so silly to even be talking about these things, but that's the world we live in. We look for little escapes where we find joy, but when those escapes generate hate, if they don't go the way you want them to go, it's very dangerous, and I know I used to treat sports like an idol. Some might look at me and think that I still do, just from watching them and the joy I do get from watching them, but I know where I was and I know where I am now, and losses like that don't affect me the same way. Still sucks, but it's like when you see people who don't have a relationship with God, they get affected by those things to a degree that can be very unhealthy and dangerous to those around you, because when somebody's throwing out that kind of hate, it comes from a deep-rooted anger and unsettledness and lack of peace when they were putting so much hope into a game that when it doesn't go the way they wanted it to, they are so angry that they're talking about hating people they have never met. That would never be, obviously, the heart of someone who has a relationship with Jesus. So I pray if you are a sports fan, you are able to put things in perspective. And if you know anybody, try to offer up a perspective so that people are not just so angry and wired up so tight that when things don't go the way you want them to for your team, which they very often won't, that you don't start just letting that anger get out into the world, in a world that is desperately in need of people to be light and salt and talking about things that are edifying and uplifting and not focusing on the things that bring them joy, and when they don't, against the world. So anyway, I pray this finds you well. Hope your team won today. If you do have a team, I saw the Redskins or the Commanders just won a crazy game. Could have went either way. Sometimes you do win, sometimes you do lose, but take joy in the journey. That's like life. If you can't take joy in the hard times, which the Apostle Paul tells us to do, it's going to be a rough ride, because things are only going to get worse. So do not lay up idols. 1 John 5:21. God bless you. See you tomorrow.